Mhm. Hi, Jeanette. Thank you for joining me. Are you working on anything tonight? I actually don't know what I'm working on. It's just something that's laying around. So I figured I'd just keep going and see what it becomes. I think it's a cardigan. But because I have so much stuff going on at the same time. What tutorial are you working on? Yeah, I'm working on one as well, and I'm trying to learn a new, what's it called? Editing program that's way over my head. I don't know I think this is a cardigan, but it's been laying around for, I don't know, weeks. I think I I think I want to make a cardigan, but this is the yarn. It's the puzzle yarn, all that puzzle yarn that I bought. Hey, Kelly, thanks for joining me. Are you working on anything tonight? This has been another long week for me. I did get, I ordered some, what do you call them? Garment tags. Where is it? You can see it says Gigi the Crochet Queen. She did a good job. And then that's the other one. This is the sew on one. This one is for the, those, um, what do you call them? Whatever they're called. The garment metal things that you put on there. Kelly, you said you can't concentrate. What is throwing off your concentration? So I think I saw someone. Oh, I know. I was watching Hector Guna, and she was doing her own garment tags for her hat. One of the hats that I don't even know if I made the hat or not, but she put her own garment tag on there, and I was like, I really would love some garment tags. So if my sales ever pick up, I can put the garment tag on it. So I went online. I saw somewhere else, and somebody, oh, work is a pain. Oh, tell me about it. Thank God I do have a job. I feel bad for the people that don't. But I was looking on Etsy and looking for, I don't even know who I was looking for, and I came across that person's Etsy shop, and I put in an order. And because I really wasn't paying attention, I ended up ordering two types because once I saw the purple, I was like, ooh, gotta have the purple. And then after I did my checkout, it was free shipping and everything. And I did my checkout and I saw that it was coming from Louis. Well, I can't even say it. I could say it earlier today. Now I can't say it. Oh, goodness. I want to say Lufthansa, but it's not Lithuania. Lithuania. I think that's how Lithuania. That's where it was coming from. And I couldn't even remember how long it had been that I ordered it. So I already knew when I saw where it was coming from, it'll be a while before it got here. But I was quite pleased when I got them. So, and she put in a 25% off um, coupon for my next purchase. I was like, wow, 25%. It was only 30 something dollars, I think, which I thought was a decent price for somebody that's going to be handmade and it's leather. So I'm happy. I'll probably order some more because I'm always crocheting. Maybe I'll sell something on Etsy. Yeah, I feel you because I had to braid my daughter's hair today, and all the time I'm thinking about all the work I got to go back and try to catch up on. So I did some of it, but I said, oh, I'll work on it tomorrow. The work never ends, never ends, never ends. But at least I have a job, and that's the important thing because bills have to be paid. And I do like my little house, my little plot of land. Ooh, yeah, sales, definitely. I'm not in sales, but whew, my job is draining too. I was watching watched I was looking for Ma Rainey on Netflix, but I thought it started yesterday, but apparently not. So I didn't see it. But I saw this documentary about Sam Cooke. I was so I didn't know that all that stuff about him. I didn't realize that him and Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X, all of them were close friends. It was a really interesting documentary. Hi, Digo. Thanks for joining me. I hope you all did a thumbs up when you came in. I love Netflix for their documentaries. They have some really, really good ones on there. And you always, there's so much information because I guess they have the time to do all this stuff, unlike when you watch um, like 2020 or 48 Hours. What's the other one I watch? Dateline. Well, those are usually just about murders and such. But the documentaries on Netflix I can just vegetate on a weekend and watch them if I have the time. That'll probably be what I'll be doing on my vacation. Yeah, he wanted to own his own label, and that was one of the things that they talked about. They thought that that was part of the reason that he was killed, and I was the guy that was his supposedly was helping him stole from him, and right before he was murdered, he had plans to go to confront this guy and fire him, but that didn't happen. It was crazy how, but it was back in those days, and it's still back in these days. Same thing they were fighting for then, we're fighting for now. And of course, when they played "A Change Is Coming," that just brought tears to my eyes. That was the 50s and the 60s, and here we are in 2000, going in 2001, and it's the same fight, the same struggle. But it was really, really interesting. Yeah, I saw the music industry is scary. What's that? A lady singer. I don't know because I'm still old school and I don't listen to a lot of music now, so I don't know a lot of these new singers. But one of them wants out of her contract, and they were like, they're not gonna let you out of that contract. And if you don't have a good attorney to look at that stuff before you sign it, just like with what's her name, Tony Braxton. Everybody talked about how broke she was because she was getting pennies on the dollars and making all of these hits. But everybody's all excited. They're young. They don't know any better. They just sign these contracts. And then a lot of them don't realize that when you go on a tour and you bring everybody under the sun on that tour, somebody's got to pay for that. And where does it come from? Out of your paycheck. Yeah, documentaries are my favorite because they get into all of the nitty gritty of stuff. You don't have any questions once they're finished. All your questions, and if you have questions, it wasn't a good documentary. That's the way I see it. My daughter was watching some of it with me, and she was like, "Oh, I didn't even realize they would have footage of black people picking cotton." I was like, "Yeah, you see the overseer riding around on his horse, making sure it's done too." These young people they don't understand the struggle because they haven't had to do it. Yeah, I agree, Jeanette. You definitely have to have a lawyer for a lawyer, and you got to have some. And it's so. I told one of my coworkers, I said, there's one of the attorneys that I deal with a lot for my job, and I said I like talking to her. I said, but personally, I don't like lawyers because I think they all crooked in some kind of a way, because you got to have. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a defense attorney or a prosecutor or what is it, mortgage broker attorney, whatever attorney you are, you got to have some kind of a side to you that will allow you to look somebody straight in the face and lie to them. So I don't know. I had to do a deposition once, and I tell my adjusters every day, every time I see that attorney on somebody's file, I said, please settle this claim. I'd never want to do another deposition with him again. I was so traumatized after that deposition. I left out of that place. I went straight home and had a drink. It was horrible. I was just like a fish out of water. I was like, I can't believe this is the stuff that you have to go through with these attorneys. And I understand how people get hemmed up on charges, as they say. Even when I watch Judge Judy and I listen to her talk to people, and she's like, oh, and you did this and you did that, and she'll just roll off the crimes that you could have been charged with. I'm like, wow. Ooh, this thing called America. Mm, mm, mm. It is something else. That's Yeah, these attorneys, they're a hot mess. Scary for me. When I had to refinance my house to get my ex-husband's name off of the deed, and the attorney says, oh, okay, I'm going to charge you $1,500. Please. When it was all said and done, the monies I thought I was going to get out of the deal, he got. And I think from then on, I've had a sour taste in my mouth for attorneys since then. They're all crooked. And may not all be crooked, but I hope I never have to deal with one ever again. They can have all of that. All of that. So what else has been going on in this big old wide world in your area? How cold is it in Chicago, Jeanette? Y'all probably getting ready to hit some real cold by now. Yeah, they do take advantage because they know the law and we don't. And that's the sad part. And the probation system is another. I didn't even realize how bad that system was until I saw someone interview that. I think he's a rapper, Meek Mills, and he talked about his first offense. is the only offense he's ever had, but because every time he does something, because he's on probation, the probation gets extended more and extended more and extended more. I'm like, that is ridiculous. Mile like in the 40s, 50s, and a shotgun. That is, yeah. When I went to the first time I went to Oprah's, it was in the 40s, and so we got to tour Chicago and go to the planetarium, and it was rainy some, but it was decent weather. It wasn't too bad for us Floridians. But the second time we went, whoa, it was in January. What? We were not ready for that kind of cold. I think the day we got there it was like 3 degrees. And when we left, it was 8 degrees. I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know how people live in this place. And I was so determined. I wanted to see that Michael Jordan statue. I have to say the bus drivers were really nice because they obviously saw we were not from the area, so they gave us lots of instructions on how to get around. But I did get to see the statue and the stadium and all of that. And I was wearing contacts at the time. And because we had to stand out there and wait for the next bus to come back and pick us up, we were freezing. And we got on the bus and I just started tearing up because my contacts were so cold. And I hit that moisture of heat. I was like, oh my goodness, it was terrible. That's the most I remember. I keep saying I want to go in when it's warmer, but that was fun, fun, fun. Let me see. Solid money gain. The more money you have, the bigger the problems you have. That's so true. Who did that? More money, more problems. That is it. And I think it's really for people that play the lottery. I think Florida is one of those states that if you win it, you're kind of forced to come forward to claim it, so everybody in the world gets to see who won it. And I don't think that's a good idea. I think people should be able to claim their money just like they bought it in privacy. They should be able to claim it in privacy because that's when all the crazies come out of the woodwork. That's when you have cousins you never even knew you had come out of the woodwork. Yeah, call it Windy City. Yes, I don't want to play with no cold Chicago weather again. That was an experience. I can just check that off. Been there, done that. I don't think I've ever been that cold. And especially when they have the big winds come through, I'm like, how in the world do people stand that? But I guess when you grow, it's just like people come to Florida, they're like, how in the world do you all stand this heat? Well, I can stand it because I don't work in it. I don't know if I could work in it though. When it gets in the 90s and the humidity is at 100%, whew, better have you a lot of water around. Just like Vegas has a dry heat, but it's a hot, dry heat. Yeah, I think people should be able to remain anonymous because that's what gets you. And I mean, if you're somebody that just wants to get the money and do what you want to do with it, but then you have everybody knocking at your door. Oh, I heard you won the lottery. I'm your second cousin. I don't think so. I don't know who you are. You're not in my family tree. And if you are, I don't know you. Oprah said she didn't want to be the bank of Oprah. Oh, that is so funny. That is so funny. Because that's what happens. They're like, oh, yeah, I remember her. That was my cousin. We used to play all the time. Oprah was real smart with her money. She was like, mm-mm. I didn't know you when I was poor. I sure as devil don't know you now that I'm rich. I have to give it to Oprah. She definitely took care of her monies, unlike some of these athletes that go out and party it all away. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that documentary about the I think it was only football players. It could have been some other athletes, but mainly football players. It was called Broke, and they talked about how they just blow their money, how they lose it, how all the unwise choices. Another thing, get with the wrong person that supposedly is going to help you manage your money, and before you know it, they ran off and bought this, that, and the other with your money. That was one of the things I liked about Oprah. She said, um, "Always sign your own checks." And that's that way somebody can't slip nothing and say, "Oh yeah, I took care of that. I took care of that," and siphoning off your money into their bank account. Oh, you watch a lot of TV on your maternity leave. You saw that one? Yeah, that was a real interesting one. I was like, wow. And it's true. These young men, they get that money and they bring along all their buddies and they go out and party at the girly clubs and make all these bad decisions. They buy this and buy that. I'm like, why? Because they don't know any better. Like they said, if you don't know how to handle $10, you're certainly not gonna know how to handle 10 million. And that's what happens with some of them. The athletes that have done really well or had really good managers, Michael Jordan is at the top. When I think about a successful athlete, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, um, I don't know, they're the ones that stick out in my mind. I'm sure there's some football players that have done well, but I can't think of one right now. But I guess it's tough because that's another thing. Their income is immediately posted on ESPN and on the news. Everybody knows how when they get these big contracts. One of the basketball players for the Miami Heat got I think like a $200 million contract. I'm like, whoa, that's a whole lot of money. Hi, Lashira. Thanks for joining me. Hope you did a thumbs up when you came in. Oh, she said bye. Good night. Ah, but that's a problem I'd like to have. I'd like to be able to figure out how to manage $200 million, but it's over. I don't know how many years, but still, that's a chunk of change for a young man that's in his 20s. And if he's smart about it, and I think he'll be smart about it, because he seems like he's got his head on his shoulders. That's one thing I can say. You don't really hear bad things about the basketball players down here, but those football players, whoo, they stay in trouble. They live in trouble land. And I don't understand. Well, they're in a much more aggressive sport too. So they all seem to have anger issues. They need to have somebody to calm them down. But when you're feeding off of somebody that's just as aggressive as you are, it's hard to do. And my poor Miami Hurricanes got beat to a pulp today. Got beat to a pulp. And they were in contention to go to the Orange Bowl. They're not going to go do it now. Couldn't believe how bad they did. At home, too. Oh, well. And this is the end of their season. Their last game was canceled. Let me see. Let me see. It's like clubbing and bottle service. Oh, Dago says they haven't brought lotto tickets in years. Let me see. Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, I buy it every now and again when I remember. But now that I stay home most of the time, I hardly ever buy one because I usually end up with 3 or 4 of them in the car, and every time I go to the store, I totally forget they're in the car, and I'll go in, and as soon as I get in there, I'm like, "Shoot, I forgot to bring those tickets in to check them." But I remember seeing, um, was it on the what is it called? I think it was on American Greed. I don't know what it was on. This man in like Iowa or somewhere. I forgot what state he was in, but he was someone that someone that was in charge of the lottery. Um, and he would go in and he manipulated it some way, somehow. I don't know how he did. I can't remember, but he had won like back to back, like millions of dollars. And they finally figured out what he was doing. I was like, oh my goodness, how can you be so stupid? He knew exactly where to go. I don't know. It was just I love American Greed. I love that show because it just shows you just how greedy some people are for the love of money. The things that they will do to make a dollar, or I should say, take a dollar, a ill-gotten dollar. It wasn't an honest dollar. That's one of my favorites. I love that. And that guy that narrates it, I love his voice. Love his voice. I don't know what I am crocheting, but when it gets really big, I'm going to put some sleeves on it. Because right now I am perplexed. I have no idea what I'm doing. But I think it's a cardigan, but it's so big. I have no clue what I was going to do. I don't know what I was doing with this. Let me see how big this thing is. Let me see. Yeah, it definitely tell you. Oh yeah. So if I fold it, let me see. Oh yeah, be a nice size cardigan. Yeah, just gotta keep going. Make it big enough, fold it. I like what's her name? Bag a Day Crochet's cardigan because um I like to crochet and continuously crochet and not have to like put a whole lot of things together because that drives me crazy having to put things together. So I really like her cardigan pattern. So I think that's what I'm working on. But it looks so much bigger than the last one I did. I don't know. Maybe I made it bigger. Who knows? Thank you, LaShara. I thought I would go with some fall colors, lighter colors, because it really doesn't get that cold here. We have had some 40-degree weather last week. This week? This week. And yeah, I think it was just, I think the 40s was this, at least here. I know North Florida had some probably 30s, but down here we were in the 40s for a few days. So you go from running the air conditioning all day long to turning on the heater. So your electric bill never really gets low because you go between the heat. And when you run the heat, that makes the electric bill a lot higher than running the AC. But thank goodness it's only for a few days because I don't like cold. Never have, never will. I like the air conditioning, but I don't like cold weather. Even when I was in the Army, when all that cold I had to deal with, and I was so the typical Floridian, hated going out doing anything in the cold. If I could find somebody else to do it, I'd do it. I was like, "Can you pick this up for me? Oh, are you going to the store?" And putting on all of those layers of clothing. Ugh, nope, that is not my cup of tea. That's why I say I learned a skill of crochet with all this yarn that I really don't have. Um, I mean, I can make halter tops and things like that, but cardigans and blankets and things like that, you can make a few of them, but you can't do a whole lot with it. You don't get a lot of wear and tear. Now, when I used to working in an office, I could probably definitely be stylish. And I never made a cardigan when I worked in the office, but you can be really stylish then because you can have multiple cardigans to wear to work because our office buildings are usually really cold. Oh, you just got solar. There's, I just, and speaking of solar, I just saw a documentary on Independent Lens about solar. It was the guy, he has a twin brother, property guys, a property something. I don't know. I know one of the twin brothers talked about he traveled around the places where they have the solar panels. And here in South Florida, well, I don't know, I just say here in Florida, they don't even they used to give discounts for it. Now they're trying to like push it out, just like they did in Arizona. I mean, there's so much crookedness in America. Everybody's trying to make a dollar off of us, but they don't want to give us a dollar. So anything that is an advantage for the consumer, some regulatory business can figure out a way to take it away from you or make it harder for you. And then they want to pick on Google and say Google is a monopoly. Well, what's Florida Power and Light if it's not a monopoly? We don't have an option of what electric company we can go with. We don't have a say on our water company. I mean, all this stuff is regulated through the state. So, if I want to put solar panels on my house so I don't have to pay this $200 electric bill every month, then why is that a bad thing for me? It's a bad thing for the person that's providing electricity because then they can't get that $200 out of me. There's always something, always something. Yeah, tell me how much you save on that because that was the thing where they were saying that you can go into the negative as far as having to pay your electric bill. And I think places because when winters come in, these places that have these harsh winters and stuff, I think solar panels would be good because people can't afford gas and all that stuff. Everything's so expensive now. And you're on a fixed income with the elderly people, that would be something awesome. They had a family in Washington D.C. I think like their whole area has solar panels, or at least their home does. I can't remember, but it's a really if you Independent Lens is on PBS. If you ever want to watch it, I can't remember the title of it, but it's about solar, and I just saw it like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But it was really interesting. They just don't want us to get ahead of nothing. Hey, Dana, Triple C, how are you? I am good. Working on a cardigan, I believe. At least that's what it's going to be. That's the way I see it right now. That's what I will be working on. Hey, have any of you used DaVinci Resolve, DaVinci Resolve for your editing? I downloaded it, but whew, I was already forewarned that it's not really for beginners. It's quite above me, but I am going to work on learning that because it is some kind of fancy. They say even the real studios use DaVinci for editing. Your labor of love, 72 by 96 Afghan. Ooh, you got that right, labor of love. How long did that take you? Oh, you were negative once and it was $10. I take $10 over 200 any day. That's a huge savings. But what you wanted, the thing is, however however much it costs you to put it in, then you have to see in a year's time if you recoup that money. Then it's well worth it. Long time ago, I was going to look into the solar panels. They even put it on our amendments, and when we have to vote and stuff, it was on there. And for some reason, I'm thinking it was voted down. I can't remember. Hi, Vivian. But I don't know. Like I said, anything that's good for the goose is never good for the gander. They just want to take, and never give. So we definitely could. All this sunshine we get in South Florida, yeah, I could use that solar panel. It's always, but that Independent Lens show about the solar panels was really interesting because it showed you all the ins and outs of it, and how they make them. And when they pulled out, I want to say it was Arizona that they pulled out. These people were making good money that installed the panels, and of course they lost their jobs. I don't know. I just don't know. And we're way back into a recession again. So who knows? I'm just trying to hold on for the next 6 years so I can get to retirement. I pray I can get to retirement. I was going to do 8 more, but I keep saying I don't know if I can make those 8. I said that about the Army too and got out. I said I should have stayed in and finished those 8. Now I'm back again to another 8. 8 must be my number. Yeah, I was born in August, the 8th month. 888. Maybe I should go play that. 888. Oh, that's scary. At least it's not 666. Oh my goodness. But I've been working on trying to learn, trying to improve my videos, trying to make them better. And I don't know if anybody has ever watched Justin Brown Primal Video. I think that's what it's called. He has a lot of good information. And he did a live stream Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember what day it was. The days all meshed together in my brain now. But it was really, really interesting, all the information that he gave. And I've watched lots of his videos. So I said, well, let me try to put some of this into play, see if that'll help me along the way. But I definitely want to learn this DaVinci Resolve because I'm sure it'll be a great help with me trying to, because I use my Microsoft video editor right now on my computer, and I have the KineMaster on my phone, but my phone is small, and I don't like playing around with it on the phone. I use it for quick videos on the phone because it's much faster to upload from KineMaster on my phone than it is from my computer. It takes it forever to upload these videos on the computer, which I don't understand why, but it does. So that's I don't even know if I've looked at any other new channels. Have I this week? Mm-mm. I don't have time to look at new channels. I barely have time to look at the old channels that I see. I don't even think I've watched a video this. Have I watched any videos? I can't even remember. I probably turned something on and did a like and came out. I always try to do likes. If I can't watch it, at least I'll go on and do a like. Not enough hours in the day between work and more work. Let me see, did I miss anything? Dana, what was your the Afghan that you did? Was it just was it a special stitch or anything? That's huge. That's 6 feet. Oh, that's huge. Was that 6 by 8? Yeah, 6 by 8. That's for 3 or 4 people to get under. Mm. Oh, you're trying to save up for a laptop? I got this off of, I want to say QVC. I got sucked in because it's touch screen, and I had my old video, and I mean my old laptop, and I gave that to my friend. So I got this one because it was touch screen. I've had it for a few years. What is this? Tells you I don't even remember what. Is it an HP? I think yeah, it's an HP, and it was like $500+. But of course, I did it on what they call it, flex pay or delayed pay, whatever they call it. So that was the best deal for me. It has a lot of features, but of course, I couldn't tell you what it does. It does a whole lot of stuff, but the reason I liked it was because of the touch screen. Because I had my little tablets that were touch screen, and of course, your phone is touch screen. So I was so used to doing touch screen. Even when I'm at work, I start to go to touch the monitor. It's like, oh no, 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 this is not touch screen at all. But everything that you have nowadays is pretty much touch screen. Let me see. Use the pattern from Leisure Arts Afghan in a weekend. The pattern is called Just for Her. Oh, okay. I do videos, and when I start piercing together and cutting out and show credit, it takes a while for it to save on the computer before I can. Not a yarn eater. I need 4.5 jumbo skeins of yarn, so it's easy. I'm even thinking of making some for the house. I want to have Afghans. We have guests over. Oh, okay. No. Yeah, I was doing my Graphcan for my with the deer on it, and I was going along. I was 3/4 of the way finished, and on one of the rows I noticed that I had a miscount on on a stitch, and I just kept going. And I don't know why I just kept going, but I just kept going. I was like, oh, it's one stitch. It'll all even out. Nope. 3/4 of the way, I was right at starting the antlers. And I said, oh my God. I was like, where did I mess up? So I went down, went down, went down. I counted, counted, counted. Actually, I looked at the pattern and then I counted my stitches, the first row. And I was like, oh, that's where I messed up, the very first row. Mind you, after I ripped the whole thing out to the first row was right. I was so mad. So I have these 3 heaps of yarn ripped out on my table. Oh my goodness. I was like, oh, so now I went ahead and I put on my readers and I count every single row before I go on to the next one to make sure my count is right. I said, no, I cannot do this again. And the love blanket that I was doing for my mom, I'm on like row 54, I think it is. And I kept doing, I was like, what is wrong with row 54? I keep it that's and I keep counting all the blocks. It's like something is wrong. So I just pulled it out and I sat it aside and I said, I can't. I have to finish what I'm doing. I'm going to concentrate on one thing at a time and then I'll go back to it and concentrate just on that. I won't do anything else but that. Because now we're 2 weeks from Christmas and I don't think it's going to be ready for my mom for Christmas. So sad for myself. Let me see. Jumbo skeins. I have the jumbos. I don't even like working with that yarn because I don't like working with big hooks. I'll go, I mean, I have the P hook. That's not so bad. And at least the one that I have is not so bad. I don't like some of those big hooks. I just don't like working with them. And I see other people work with them and they love them. I don't like the big hooks. I love my J hook. It's like this is like my favorite big hook is a J hook. But I bought all that jumbo yarn. I don't even know why I bought it. Maybe I thought I was going to make something with it, but it just sits there and collects dust. Maybe I'll come across a pattern that I really like and I can use it. But for now, I'm going to work on this. I'm going to work on my Grafgan and that love throb blanket that I've been working on it was turning out so well, and then I just got stuck at that one doggone row, and I don't know what I did wrong. The count seems to be right. It must not be right somewhere. So I have to look at it. I have to be rested. It's going to drive me crazy if I'm not. It happened to me when I was making the filet crochet praying hands wall hanger. Oh, that sounds very intricate. All right, LaShira, thank you so much for joining me. Good night. Oh, it's an order. I have no orders. But I was very, very happy to get my tags. Oh, You probably came on after the tags, but I got these pretty little tags. Got Gigi the Crochet Queen on them. They came from Lithuania. Took them a minute to get here, but they were well worth it. And she gave me a 25% off coupon, so I will be ordering some more just because of the coupon, because that's a pretty good deal. Finally got some that I like. I was really nervous. I was like, oh, I hope this comes out right. I think I had to send a picture of what I wanted. So my sign, I think, I can't remember now. So it came out quite nice. Hi, Anne. Thank you. I have the are they grommets? Is that what they're called? I think they're called. Yeah, they're called grommets. I don't even see them. Where'd I put them? Oh, maybe they're on the table. Oh, here they are. The little metal things that go on them. But of course, I've never put them on there. They look like it just screw on because there's screws with them, and then it has the little grommet thing. So I have them, and then I have the screws. Yep. So that's how you put those on. That should be interesting. I don't want to mess them up though. In no rush. I won't put one on unless somebody orders a hat or something. So I'm not going to waste them. I can't wait to see this My Rainy Bottoms, the bottoms or whatever. But it's it'll be on Netflix with oh, why do I want to call her Olivia? Her name is not Olivia. What is her name? She's a lady that does How to Get Away with Murder. Why can't I think of her name? But she's in it, and it's the last movie that Chadwick Boseman did before he passed away. So I am so looking forward to vegetating and watching that on Friday. Hopefully, as I thought it came out this Friday, but it's not this Friday, so I guess it's next Friday. Oh, Viola Davis. That's her name, Viola Davis. I keep wanting to call her Olivia. I don't know why. I love, love, love her work. She's something special. I loved her in How to Get Away with Murder. I loved her when that Fences with Denzel Washington. I never saw Doubt. I wanted to see it, but I never saw it. But she's a good actress. Love, love, love. Can't wait to see this movie. And I can't believe they keep putting movies in theaters. I'm like, who is going to the theaters to see movies? I don't even know if I don't even know if any of the theaters in my area are even open. I know the one that's closest to me, I don't think it's open because there's nothing on their billboards as to like what movies are in there, so I don't think it's open. I don't know. They got to get this virus under control before I go sitting into no bar, no restaurants, none of that stuff. Not indoors. I don't even want to sit outdoors. Not around a bunch of people I don't know. What is a theater? What do you all call them? Are you just saying, like, what is a theater in the sense that no one's been to one in a long time? Ah, life in America has been on hold for 9 months. 9 months. How many babies have been born? We should have a whole lot of births come next month. Whole slew of them. This should be a baby boom. This should be a baby boom. Oh, you being sarcastic? That's what I thought after I read it. I said, yeah, yeah. And that used to be my thing. I would always do the early bird. I said I'd go in there with the old people because, although I am of that generation, but I like going to the theater, especially comedies, because if you go in the morning, there's nobody in there but you and two or three other people, and you get to hear every joke before people are laughing over it and talking over it, and children are crying and all that stuff. So I would always go to the early bird morning, and plus it was cheaper too, and watch whatever movie I would watch. Go in there and chill out for a couple of hours. Then I'd go and run my errands and pick up whatever I need to pick up. That used to be my Saturdays. That's gone out the window. Hi, Nancy. How are you tonight? Thank you for joining us. My neighbor. Did you all get any rain today? We got some rain. Yeah, we've had our little snow, our little cool snap, and probably gonna have some more cool days next. I haven't even watched the weather to see what's going on for next week. I just know it's a nice day today, except for the little rain that we had. It's been a nice day. I wanted to go out and get some more of my avocados off the tree, but it started raining, so that got kicked to the curb. Hi, Ola, Joe. Hey, cooking with vegan. How are you tonight? I watch your videos and I'm always salivating because I want the food. The food. I was watching I record a whole lot of stuff, and I had especially like 2020, 48 hours, things like that. And so I was looking through my recordings and I saw I had a 2020 recording and it was 2 hours. And so I clicked on it. I was like, what is this? So I read and it was about some lady and some murder or something. I was like, oh, let me see what this is about. So I clicked the thing on. It's from the election. So that whatever 2020 was showing wasn't showed because of the election. So I fast forwarded past all that because we already know who won the election. I fast forwarded past all of that, and then Shark Tank started. I was like, okay, let me see what this was about. And there was two guys on there, and they had vegan chicken salt and vegan tam- turmeric, turmeric salt, and some other salts too. I was like, oh, let me look at this. So I watched it, and they also have some kind of a chicken patty thing that they plan to do. But they got a deal with, was it with the lady Barbara? They got a deal with Barbara. So they said they sell out. They're the best sellers on Amazon for spices. So I went online, and they charge, he says, like 3 times whatever everybody else charge. So I went on and I ordered the chicken sauce because I said I'd like to make, even though I play with vegan, I'm not a complete vegan, but I like to play with it. I like to play with all kinds of things, all kinds of ways to eat. And so I got the chicken salt because I like to take chickpeas and make them into patties. And if you put that chicken salt, then it's like having a chicken patty for me. So I cannot wait to get it and try it out. Oh, you love the Shark Tank? Oh, me too. I'm just floored. Some of the stuff that comes on. Did any of you crocheters see the guy that crochets? He brought his crochet work on there, and he didn't get a deal, but he got exposure. He got big time. You know how many people watch Shark Tank? I'm sure he's probably sitting real pretty right now. He has some wild things on there. Um, but he's quite a talented man. So it'd be interesting to see if they ever do a look back on like people that didn't make it, how well they did. The ring guy was on Shark Tank and he didn't get a deal either. And look where he is right now. Now he gets to sit on Shark Tank as a shark. That's coming full circle. Robert Keene, Building My Life Show. Blessings to the incredible motivation grind. Blessings to everyone's grind and motivation. Thank you. Um, Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I think I got everybody. Yep, I got everybody. I got everybody. Yep, yep, yep. I think so. Oh, Shark Tank is so. And I love when the little kids come on there because it's like they are thinking outside of the box. That is so awesome. They are going to be millionaires before they even graduate from high school. At least that's what you hope. And they keep them grounded so they don't get the big head. Let them be kids and know that they have something to offer to the world that's going to make the world a little bit better. That's one of the reasons I really enjoy Shark Tank because people are thinking outside the box and figuring out things. As they say, the entrepreneurs have to think outside the box because they have to figure out a need. It has to be a need. That's why in this digital world, it's really interesting to see the things that people still come up with. Oh, you remember the ring guy? Yes, he was on that show. They're like, oh no, 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 nobody gave him a chance, and now he is the king of doorbells. I have my ring. I love my ring. Keeps me from have to open my door when I see some unfamiliar faces ringing my doorbell. I don't even have to answer it. I just look at it. Amazon purchased the ring, people. Yeah, I think that's who bought them. For I think it was like was it $1 billion? It was a huge amount of money that he sold his company for. That's and he was a young man when he started, and it was so funny when he first started the ring because I bought mine. I think I bought mine from QVC, and at that time he used to have his either his telephone number or his email address on the box. So if you had questions, you could always contact him. I don't think he does that now. Especially well now that he's not the owner of the company anymore. But that's cool. He figured out a need, and now they have ring communities. I get alerts all every I think almost every day somebody sends an alert. Oh, somebody stole this, or somebody broke into my car, or there's coyotes in the area. All kinds of alerts, and the police use it as well. When people commit crime, they ask you if you will give them videotape of it. If you have any footage of what went on. So it definitely serves a purpose. Try again. I don't know. It's not. Yeah, because yeah, Shark Tank because they're investing their money. They're not investing their money to help you get your business going. They're investing their money on a business that's gonna already going and has a proven track record, or they have to see how this is going to make because they want their investment back. So if you are just starting out and haven't proven that you can sell this or make it and sell it or have the wherewithal to push it to the next level, then that's just like me giving my daughter $50,000 and say, hey, go do whatever you want to with it, and she comes back home with nothing. That's the way I see it. But I understand what you're saying. But the whole purpose of the show is for people that they'll be able to get their money back, pretty much. You can't go on there with a thought and a hope and a prayer. Nope. They wanted some proof that this is going to go somewhere, or in their minds they know it'll go somewhere. That's why some of them are done so well. And you know, Damon loves to rub it in their faces because he bought that sock company, or that was a deal, and he so far is the highest winning. He has the highest revenue of all the sharks because of that one sock company, which blows my mind. And I'm sure it blew his mind too that a sock company would do that well, but it does. But it's a good show. I enjoy it. I get a lot of interesting tidbits. And when they talk and they got to be able to roll out, that's what amazes me about the youngsters. They can roll off those numbers just like the adults can because they know their business. That's that's a good thing. All right, people. Yeah, because you know it's crazy how people put these masks on now as they're doing their criminal activity. I saw some guys rob a man they had on the news, and you can of course videotape. I said I don't know why people unless you go somewhere where there are no cameras, nobody with a cell phone to videotape you, or it's really dark. 9 times out of 10, something has picked up your bad behavior. And there's so many cameras now all over, not just on the traffic lights. People get hit on the road and they can track the thing. I love that show See No Evil, and it's all about the CTV cameras and how they can track they see something happen, they can track you from place to place. And I said, if you're going to commit a crime, don't take a phone with you because they can track that phone too. If you go through what do you call it? Um, I can't even think what I'm trying to say with the transponder. If you go through with that in your car, that can be tracked. Anything electronic can be tracked. They can go on. If you say, "Oh yeah, I was at home on my computer," they can track and see if somebody was on your computer. My Fitbit, they can track you through your Fitbit. If you say I was here and I was jogging, they can go and see if you really had that fit, or if that Fitbit was jogging with somebody. It can't say it was you, but they can say it was movement with it. So it's hard to be a good criminal these days because they can track you any kind of way imaginable, almost. Everything is electronic now. And even if you don't think it is, it is. Because even these cars there's some electronic component in it. I always say Toyota knows I think Toyota can do things to make me bring my car in. I'm sure they don't, but I so feel that in my heart. Oh goodness. All right. Well, Nancy says she'll be right back, but I'm gonna go for now. I thank you all for joining me. E-ZPass, yeah. Ours is SunPass. But yeah, all that stuff can be tracked. All right. Well, I will be here next Saturday. If anybody wants to join me, I appreciate you all. Thank you all for coming. Have a good night. Watch some football. Bye bye.